for it. One of those quality players in the world, but spare a thought for these two players. Pratika Raval, just 12 months and over into the Indian team, just around 12 months, gets to face the first ball. Harleen Deol has been a part of the T20 World Cup teams for India, is out there at number 3, partnering a debutant in the World Cup alongside her own self. The experience is back, watching, possibly getting angry at herself as well, of letting go of an opportunity, of throwing away that good form that she has earned over the past month and a half.
Yeah, it was the right shot because Sri Lanka had just dialed away on a length and she tried to put them off a length. And also there was no pace on the ball. She was trying to put pace on the ball. Right shot, just not the execution she wanted, and she knows it. It's a shot she gets a lot of runs with. Back of a length. There's not a lot of bounce in this pitch, so she had to get low. And she did.
The exuberance of youth. Intently focusing on the delivery from Kulasurya. Possibly anticipating a loose delivery as well as she's getting into a fourth, or she's bowling a fourth over. Pratika Raval picks up the length nicely, stays back and punishes that ball down the onside boundary.
Two options. We've just seen Mandana charging. These two right-handers could sit deeper in their crease and pull and cut. Pratika Raval has just done that.
Yeah, likes to play on the back foot, Pratika Raval. One of those newer generation cricketers coming off, strengthening and playing good back foot shots from India.
Yorker, it's a bump ball, I think. Sri Lanka are getting excited. You never know with these, but your gut feel was that it was a bump ball. Are Sri Lanka going to ask the question? Yep, they're going to have a look.
Catch, I'm just looking at split screen now, and just roll that through off the top of that onto the ground. Satisfied there's no breaking down. Good.
Clearly hits it into the ground. Sri Lanka have wasted a review. 29 for 1 after 7.
Been a fabulous start by Sri Lanka. They'd be so happy with what their seamers have done up front. They've kept it nice and tight. The lines have been excellent. Picked up a huge wicket, of course, of Smriti Mandana as well. They thought they had another one at the end of the previous over, but this was clearly a bump ball with a bottom edge. And one of the reasons why they asked and weren't sure was because the bat also hit the ground. And they thought that that was maybe the noise. But it was quite clear that the ball went straight into the ground. Tali Raj alongside at the moment. What a start this has been for Sri Lanka. Tali, they'd be very happy right now.
Yes, they've started really well, getting Smriti Mandhana out early, because that's not very often we've seen in this calendar year someone who's been in really good form. But there is a small partnership building here between these two batters.
Udeshika Prabodhini is a very experienced campaigner for Sri Lanka. Prabodhini's been around with this team for a long time. She'll know her captain well as well. And the field that she's got set at the moment, of course, we're still within the first 10 overs. So first power play, you can only have 2 outside of the 25-yard circle. She's got a sweeper on the offside, which they're just moving just slightly straighter, and backward square leg as well. Good tight line.
Yeah, there's not much of a movement from Prabodhini. She's trying to have those fielders right in the batter's eye, especially the catching position. Then there's the covers in this mid-off and a deep point.
Gets to squeeze it through. We just spoke about the fact that you can only have 2 outside of the 25-yard circle. So you get it through, there's a chance of a boundary.
Well, having a deep point makes sense, but bowling way outside, giving that width for Harleen Deol, who's really good off the front foot, managing to bisect the short third and backward point for a boundary. You need to tighten the length, the line, especially on this wicket. Prabodhini, with so much of experience, she knows that she's...
Ends the over well, 36 for 1. Shapara Stadium in Guwahati is expecting to kick this World Cup off with a bang. And so far we've seen obviously some really good starts and a good seam bowling from Sri Lanka so far. And Chamari Atapatu spoke at the toss about the variations they have in the attack. They felt the attack is very balanced. Now, Sugandhika Dasanyaika will take up the bowling. And this is the first time we're going to see maybe a little bit of variation, a little bit of spin. What's going to happen with spin in this tournament? How big a factor is it going to be on the subcontinent here in India? Her first World Cup. This is how she normally, the stage she normally comes in for Sri Lanka, in that she's often the first change bowler for them. Lovely fielding, very good.
That was a good piece of fielding. She's actually stopped 3-4 boundaries there in that area, especially because Pratika Rawal is quite good playing those drives through that region. Now it's a challenge for the spinners when you come into the power play. You only have 2 fielders that you can keep the outer ring. She has deep mid-wicket and a sweeper.
How much of a factor is spin going to be in this tournament, do you think?
See, every other team has stacked up spin options in their squad. is important, the quality of the spin, because if you get flatter tracks, especially when you're bowling under the lights where the wicket eases out, becomes more batting friendly, then it boils down to the length, the variations that the spinners get onto that day, and bowling to your field.
Time of year also a factor. Some of the pitches you'd expect to be quite fresh at this time of year. You have some good flat surfaces, good for batting in general. How much of a factor do you think that will have in it?
Well, now women's cricket from 2022 World Cup, you talk of this 4-year cycle, we've seen teams scoring more than 300 runs. That's a White trying to bowl outside off because she has a protection in the sweeper region. I think every team would prefer a good batting track to pile up big runs, big total, and try to chase it down as well. We've seen in the home series against Australia where they've crossed 400 and India almost there to chase and lost by 40 odd runs. But you can see in one game there's been runs scored more than 700, so that shows that every team also has batting depth. They all have come into this World Cup.
Well, first over spin brings 4 runs. It's 40 for 1. But Mudeshika Prabodhini will continue within this spell. She's had a long layoff from international cricket with a hamstring injury. It's been persistent for her. She was struggling for a long time, so she is maybe feeling fresh in that she hasn't been out on the field, but it's been a little while since she's played some international cricket. How tough is it to come back in a World Cup?
I think she definitely has a lot of experience. We were speaking about it. So for an experienced player to get into the World Cup, I'm sure she knows her body. She knows how many overs has she bowled before the World Cup game. That she is straight down the leg, signalled wide. Trying to have the line. She's trying to bowl to the stump region, Prabodhini.
Very nice. Very, very nice from Prabodhini.
That is the length, that is the line that she was trying to bowl.
Was there a little something on this? She had a little flirt at it outside the off stump. Keeper not taking it cleanly. Definitely chased it. It's actually...
There's 3 dot balls already. She's piling up that pressure in this over. Prabodhini trying to bowl tight line.
Just a little bit of drizzle about at the moment. There was some predictions for the possibility of rain. It was very humid as well. So interested to see what happens here. Hopefully not too much of an interruption. That was due for conditions as well. Ground staff are ready. Done such a good job in getting the surface ready for this World Cup. Good from Prabodhini. Excellent way to end the first power play. It's 43 for 1. Two umpires just having a chat, and yes, they've called for the covers. They've said this is a little bit concerning. They maybe also have gotten a message as to what's possibly on its way in terms of a bit more heavy rain, possibly. There's definitely some dark clouds to what is our right-hand side. To our left, it's clear and it's blue. But there is part of very, very dark clouds. I just wonder as well, Mitali, a break like this, who does it benefit, a little break like this?
Well, I think Prabodhini finished the over quite well, just giving 3 runs. Here we've seen that the Sri Lankan bowlers have really bowled few tight overs. After the dismissal of Smriti Mandhana, said they would have fancied to get few more overs before this break.
Time to have a chat as well. The two batters have been out there long enough to understand the conditions and what is expected from the surface. Obviously that message will go into the dressing room as well. Pretty cool there now, just having a chat, probably maybe just a little bit of words of encouragement possibly, but also what they've seen out there in the middle. Pratika in particular has been out there for a little while, so she knows what's happening on the surface, what the balls are doing as well. The 2 new balls from each end for the women's ODIs. Love to know what she is thinking at the moment. As a captain, what are you telling your 2 batters?
Well, clearly to work on the partnership, because right now it is on 29 of 42. So India definitely needs a bigger partnership, minimum of 50-run partnership between these 2 batters, so that the middle order can walk in at the right time.
Ground staff working hard to make sure they get as much covered here as possible, so that when we do come back on, there won't be much of a delay. It doesn't look too heavy at the moment, which hopefully means that this won't be a long delay. And also with the amount of covers they have, it'll cover a lot of the ground. This will make quite a big difference. Just a slight delay in the opening game of the ICC Women's Cricket World Cup. Sri Lanka won the toss. They said they're going to have a bowl first. India, their strong opening partnership in the end brought 14 runs from that opening partnership, and they lost the wicket of Smriti Mandhana, a big wicket, no doubt about it. Russell Arnold is alongside. Russell, you had a nice close look at that wicket. What did you find?
Well, it's all about nerves and a player settling in, even a big player. Now, Prabodhini in the first over, very tight to Smriti. She's looking for ways to get her away. She's nagging in her terms of pace and the line, and then she gets a bit of movement. She's always trying to bowl around that off stump. Smriti tries. The next over, it's wider. They always have that fielder because she's very strong through the offside. And it works for Sri Lanka. Now, that's not about Smriti's technique. It's all about the anxiousness even a big player might bring into a tournament, and making that count for you. Mithali will be able to talk more about the nerves.
Yeah, exactly. She's coming from a very good series against Australia, back-to-back hundreds, and she was in pretty much the same momentum when she got into today's game. Of course, the opponent is different, the conditions are different, the wicket is different to what she's played in New Chandigarh and Delhi. And this is the pitch map of Sri Lankan seamers in the power play. They've tried to bowl from pretty much, it's sprayed from 2 meters to 8 meters, but the line you see, they have been attacking the stumps, keeping it tight.
And just the one out there is Smriti's wicket, which was just floated up there, and because she was trying to get hold of Prabodhini, she just leans into it and doesn't control the shot. But Sri Lanka have been tight. A slight plan, making the batter make all the play, which has been good. They don't have a lot of pace. That's what you need to do.
Yeah, very disciplined from Sri Lanka's point of view, and then just pushing it slightly wider and getting the big wicket of Smriti Mandhana. Well, it was Sri Lanka who said that they would have a bowl first, which is not that surprising, I would have thought, because the mention was of dew. After this little start, maybe India felt they were away, getting 14 runs in that opening partnership, but of course the big wicket of Smriti Mandhana makes a difference.
Yes, the conditions also, Chamari Attapattu spoke about. playing under lights as well, the wicket gets easier. They fancy themselves chasing because they've won few games in this calendar year, Sri Lanka chasing as well. So they've elected to field, and they've straight away put pressure on India by getting that first big wicket of Smriti Mandana. And they have a really good setup for her in deep point,
Split screen now.
trying to enforce a big shot.
There's just a moment there where Sri Lanka thought they might have possibly had a second one, but it was a bump ball in the end. It was reviewed by the umpires, and it was shown to be a bump ball. Cloudy skies, bit of rain about. Hopefully it is going to move away very quickly for this open encounter. It is an important encounter for both of these two teams because they want to start well. So far Sri Lanka have been really good with the ball in that first 10 overs. That first phase, I feel, belongs to Sri Lanka. Even though it's only one wicket, they've kept it quiet. We all spoke about this being a runs fest at this ground, but they've kept it nice and quiet at 4.3. And picked up the big wicket of Smriti Mandana. It is a strong batting lineup though for India. They've got a very, very strong lineup and a lot of batting to come. Right. League phase, everyone plays everyone, Mitali. It's a format that makes it really tough in that you have to obviously beat some of the best teams in the tournament.
Also the fact that you want to start the tournament on a good win. Every team would want to do that because in a tournament like the ODI World Cups, when the teams peak, when the core players peak, is so important in the context of this tournament.
Who's your number one? Who's standing out for you? Is it Australia again? I'll put you on the spot. We know they've won it so many times. They've done it many times over. That's just within the first few years that you see the success that Australia have had. England winning the first ever ODI World Cup. Who's your number one?
Well, it's hard to say, especially in this World Cup, because we've seen the gap bridging between Australia and the rest of the teams, and this is going to be a very competitive, tough ODI World Cup.
So Mitali Raj sitting on the fence and not giving us a winner this year. It's okay, it's all right. I know not many are going to bet against Australia, but I agree. It's starting to get closer and closer. And we have seen that in the T20 World Cups in particular. Australia, though, of course, still very dominant in the ODI World Cups. They had that hiccup in 2017 and they said they wanted to make sure they get back to winning ways, and they did it brilliantly in 2022, where they won all their matches in New Zealand and lifted the trophy with a fantastic 100 from Elisa Healy in that final. What a brilliant 170 that was from her. Thoroughly entertained the crowd. Meg Lanning lifting yet another trophy with Australia. Absolutely fantastic. Well, we start off in Guwahati, which is right on the eastern side of India, but we have got some exciting venues coming your way for the ICC Women's Cricket World Cup.
We hosted 3 Women's International between India and England. That was in 2019. And for World Cup experience, we had a 4 warm-up matches last World Cup for men's. And World Cup match, yes, this is the first World Cup match for Assam or Northeast, not itself in Guwahati. It means a lot we are hosting a World Cup match. That too, a opening match. This is a special venue in the sense here rain doesn't hamper any match. If it rains for 4-5 days before the match and there is no rain in the match, then it starts on time. That is the speciality of this ground.
Last 6-7 years, women cricket is developing more in Assam, in the northeastern parts also. And like girls like Jintimoni and Uma Chetri, they are the inspirations actually for the girls who are coming, the families who are pushing their girls to play cricket in Assam. And I think that's a big thing. Then at the same time, we are hosting the World Cup for women under ICC. So I think that we are honored to have this event here. And hopefully this coming generation, they will come and they will watch these matches here. And fortunately, we have 4 games and good teams are coming here.
वैसे तो सब कुछ सोशल मीडिया में आता है, तो मुझे भी इंस्टा से पता चला कि मतलब इधर है हमारा पहला मैच और हमारा ओपनिंग मैच इधर ही है, फर्स्ट वर्ल्ड कप। और काफ़ी सालों के बाद इधर मतलब इंडिया मैचेस हो रहे हैं, वो भी वोमेंस के। मेरा वैसे भी मतलब अलग स्टेट से हुआ, मतलब अलग डिस्ट्रिक्ट से हूँ, तो वहाँ से यहाँ तक का सफ़र बहुत टफ था। और जैसे पता चला, मतलब जैसे प्रैक्टिस करते गए, जब पता चला कि इंडिया टीम होते हैं, वोमेंस का होता है, ऐसा लग रहा है कि अभी मैं इधर हूँ, बट मुझे ऐसा लग रहा है कि सपने में हूँ या फिर ये रियल है या नहीं है। इधर ही हमारा वो हॉस्टल था और मैं उधर ही बैठ के एक बार सोच रही थी कि मैंने इमेजिन भी किया था कि मैं एक दिन इंडिया के लिए मैच खेलूंगी और ऐसे एंट्री करूंगी और सारे मुझे बोलेंगे कि कम ऑन उमा, ऐसा जब उमा शोर मचाएंगे तो कैसा फीलिंग होगा, वो इमेजिन किया था और आज ये हकीकत में हो रहा है। काफ़ी सारे बच्चे अभी, जैसे कि नए मैंने बहुत सारे बच्चे देखे हैं जो अभी निकल के आ रहे हैं, उनको भी अच्छा लग रहा है कि मैं भी इंडिया टीम पे हूँ और मुझे देख के भी बहुत सारे बच्चे आ रहे हैं। तो ऐसे में बहुत अच्छा लगता है कि कोई आपसे सीख रहे हैं, आपको देख के सीख रहे हैं, तो मुझे मतलब भरोसा है। अभी भी मैंने बहुत सारे मतलब हमारे सीनियर्स को भी देखा कि वो भी अभी भी वार्म अप भी देखने आए, प्रैक्टिस भी देखने आ रहे हैं, तो अच्छा लग रहा है कि चलो आ रहे हैं सब।
It is a beautiful part of the world and a wonderful venue as well. And hopefully the weather here in Guwahati is going to play ball as well. That's what's going to be important. That is a concern. That is to our right-hand side. It looks very, very dark out there. And we need some wind to blow this away. There wasn't much of it earlier on. So hopefully very soon this will move away. We, of course, will keep you updated on what happens. But for now, we'll take a little rain break.
Flip leg side. What a wonderful shot. Outstanding. Republic Bank maximum, and Colin Monroe is back.
Quite suave with that approach. He was in position. Economy of movement with this stroke was all hands and wrists. Just flicked away. And he knows that it will be pace on from Naseem Shah, especially in this BetX power play.
Down the ground, pumped. Superb footwork from Colin Monroe. He's been training back in New Zealand in the indoor school in the depths of winter. He's in the Caribbean sunshine, he's enjoying life.
Position as a batter.
Well, flipped away. This is a really good start. It's not good bowling. You win the toss, Jason Holder. You want to bowl first, understandably so. You must be backed up better. Fuller, you can't bowl there at Warner Park. One bounce into the fence. Very expensive over. 18 coming off it. Knight Riders absolutely flying. 44 without loss.
PL last year